Alright, my friends, yesterday was clean out the front black tank, give it a real thorough cleaning, and then a little bit overdose on the chemicals that go in there for, I use RV Digest It. Comes recommended, seems to work really well for me. A little bit more than you're supposed to, and just let that sit, and then Friday before we ship out of here, I'll drain and just put in some water for the trip home as the last final cleaning. Now, the rear tanks. I have a front black tank, a rear black, front black tank, rear black tank, front gray tank, rear gray tank. Sure, it'd have been nice to put them all into one, but I think they do that to balance the weight between the axles. You know, some tank in front of the axles, some tank over the axles, some tank behind the axles, whatever. Back tanks aren't as fun to clean as the front tanks. Not that any gray tank or black tank is really fun, but if we look under here, in here I have my outlet, then I have my two plugs, but I don't have a place to plug into to supply the water. So the front tank has a sprayer, so in the front tank when you plug into that plug you saw me plug into the other day, the water goes in way up high and then back down into the black tank, and it's on a little spray wand like a dishwasher that sprays the inside of the tank when it's getting water fed to it. No such thing back here. So all you can do back here, fill, dump, fill, dump, fill, dump. Now you see the gray is open right now. I've filled and dumped the black twice. We don't typically use the rear bunkhouse bathroom, but we did have some guests come over and use it, so I did see lots of pretty things come through that clear tube there. We're having ice cream later tonight. I do not want chocolate. So the water comes out of here clean now, and now I'm working on the gray. I got the black tank about half full guesstimate, right? Since I have to go inside, step on the toilet, let it fill, flush, let it fill, flush. That's how I have to fill up the back tank. I need to find a better way to do that. There's bound to be a better way. I can't be the first person in this scenario. But I think it's about half full. Again, overloaded the RV Digest It just a little bit. I did 1.5 times recommended. And then now I'm working on the gray. Again, no good way on the gray. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go take those, when you have dentures, you get those little round effervescent or whatever you call them tablets. Some of those things you use when you got dentures, you plop them in the cup and then you put your dentures in there. My wife uses those to get stains out of our coffee cups. When she decides that I've made too big of a mess in a coffee cup, I never wash my coffee cup. Why would you want to wash a coffee cup? You're just going to put coffee back in tomorrow and the stains in there just add to the seasoning. But every once in a while, she decides to clean her coffee cups and she uses those little tablets. You could try Dawn, you could try some other stuff, vinegar or whatever, but there's no motion. There's nothing to spin and spray. We're not driving down the road. You know, some people say put ice cubes in right as you're pulling out, and then as you're driving and whatnot and bouncing, the ice cubes break up stuff in there. I've tried that once. Unless you go spend about $50 at one of those instant ice cube machines, the ice cubes melt before they're in there. So, whatever. I'm not going down that route again. Seems really cool, really logical. I tried it. I'm not smart enough to know how to make that work efficiently. So, I'm going to try these, this idea that I'm sure, again, I'm not the first person to try. But I don't care in my gray tank about building up enzymes and all that to break down toilet paper and solids. I just want my gray tank in the back clean. So we're going to plop a whole box full of those little tablets in there with some water. Speaking of which, I got to go close that hatch. This is why I grabbed a glove. I'm going to push that gray closed, but we're going to break up a box of those tablets and put them in the rear gray tank. Brought my tool. And just let those sit for a couple days and see if those things sizzle and fizzle and do their whatevers. Maybe those help clean up the rear gray tank. I've tried sensor cleaner and all that other stuff, and our rear sensors just have never worked properly. Why? I don't know. But I guess I need 2 gloves. But there's only 2 sinks that go into the rear tank. This rear gray tank gets water from the outdoor kitchen sink and the rear bathroom sink. The outdoor kitchen sink, we don't really use that often, and when we do, it's to wash our hands, right? When we're in the outdoor kitchen, usually we're over a campfire or something like that. We don't wash dishes in that sink. I mean, the sink is big enough I guess you could wash a little miniature poodle in it when it was, 3 weeks old, but it's a tiny little sink. You can't use it for anything other than washing your hands, rinsing off a fork. You're not going to build up a lot of oils and solids in there is where I'm going. It's not like the kitchen sink goes there. It's not like your shower goes there. Nothing really goes in there. So I don't know why our sensors don't work. So I'm going to try this plop plop fizz fizz thing and see what happens. All right, I got to go move this hose back up front so we can use all of our lines for the rest of this week, but I need another glove. On to the next victim.